Testing my mic. This works.
1, 2.
All right. You ready?
Let's get it.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the FLEXCAST after, I don't know, 4 weeks or so. And that's Harry. This is Steve. I'm Haas. And, yeah, hey, guys. How's it going?
So,
yeah.
You don't even sound like you got any energy this morning.
It's been a minute. Oh, I don't sound like I have any energy?
Yeah.
What?
You sound like you're not ready, man.
It's early.
Yeah, this is like 8 a.m. today. But this is the only time that worked with our schedules. So
I know.
The last month has been hectic for all of us, just from we're busy guys about town and life. We've been all been traveling quite a bit. So, it's been hard to get the schedules exactly aligned, but, we got to make time for it. So what's new, Harrison?
Not much. I mean, probably a lot, but not much. Tired this morning. Waking up still.
What'd you do last night?
I went out to dinner with Sophie.
So you're just tired, man.
On a date.
Out on.
What had been up since like 5 something. I woke up early.
Well,
Crazy.
he still has old man hours.
I didn't meet. No, it was earlier than usual. So I'm actually tired today.
Well, one of the reasons we were in LA for like a week, and now we kind of adapted to LA time. Like waking up early wasn't as like as.
I went back to the time here pretty quickly.
Yeah, but for you already wake up super early.
But
here.
I think I did better than I expected for out there and coming back.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough.
I stayed up to like midnight in LA time, which is 3 a.m. our time.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
yeah, it is. You still woke up at a normal time though in LA.
I could sleep till like 7, 8 o'clock in LA.
And then Steve, you were just up in New York.
Yeah. I was up in New York for like a week. Yeah. Just got back. Finally got a chance to see my family since Corona, because I didn't see them at all.
How was that?
I try to stay away from my mom as much as I can.
Yeah, but now everything's good.
Everything is good. I feel like New York is back to normal now for the first time in a while.
Was it busy as hell?
It was busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be there right now because everything, I felt like everybody's traveling right now. And the plane was packed. People were just walking around. One thing I realized, too, not that much people wearing masks anymore. I guess they probably got their shot, whatever the case is. And
But in the airport, you still have to.
Yeah, you still
Right?
have to.
Oh, you just mean in general? Out in the
just
city.
in town.
Yeah.
It was like they was looking at me like I'm crazy for wearing a mask.
You were wearing a mask?
Yeah.
8 times, the 2 time, 3 times.
I know, right? Yeah,
And
but
Alpharetta, COVID doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Atlanta doesn't exist.
yeah, I don't see.
It only existed for a couple weeks last year, and that's it. I mean, it's been open. People are like, oh, it's so great to have your city be open. It's like, well, Atlanta's been open for like a year. So
I feel like
there's
we're
that.
early than any other states.
But when we were just in LA, it was a couple days before it was fully open. So it was still COVID restrictions last week, but on the 15th, it switched over to fully open, and we left right before that. So we haven't experienced other cities being open yet.
Sophie and I are fully vaccinated, so we're good to go.
Yeah.
I still sometimes I wear them inside if we're going to like the store or something. But
Yeah.
if I'm like walking into a restaurant or whatever, I usually don't. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean,
don't eat in restaurants much either, just because it's nicer to be outside anyway.
well, exactly. So I was saying, if you're outside in general, it's less of a risk, but also I just prefer it. So outside is always better, like we are right now. We haven't done an inside FLEXCAST in a long time.
I know.
I
I was watching those. Those were really dark. Yeah, they were.
Oh, like the lighting, you mean? I was like,
late at night. Or it's like 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
yeah, we used to film them at night,
I know.
and now we're old men doing it in the morning. But it's the only time that works, though. But
Father's Day weekend, so it's busy.
yep, everything's busy.
Oh, it is. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, I tried to set up a meeting at Topgolf with some guys, and the entire weekend is booked, like in Atlanta, all locations. In fact, the Midtown location is booked till Wednesday.
My goodness.
Like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is their first opening. It's a little crazy. Then I even called a long range gun range, like 1,000-yard plus, and because that would be cool, right? Take some of the rifles out, maybe rent a SAS system. Nope, they were not open. I called another one, and they were booked full. So
I think you can assume everybody's trying to do stuff this Father's Day.
especially like manly things.
golf.
Golf and
Good luck getting
guns.
a tee time for golf this weekend.
Yeah,
Bro.
that's not gonna happen.
That
But
our buddies Danny and Matt wanted to go play golf on Sunday. One, I was like, I'm doing Father's Day stuff. And two, there's no way we're getting. It was like Thursday. There's no way we're getting a tee time.
they had also forgotten it was Father's Day,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, guys, I can't do that. I'm not doing that. But so what else you been up to, Steve? You were in New York.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be leaving on Monday again. just traveling.
Where you going?
Now. To the island.
Oh, okay, back home.
No, not even.
Oh,
not even.
just for
Somewhere
vacation,
else.
like an island for vacation.
Yeah, just forget about everything.
All right.
Yeah, it's been a
Sweet.
while. Yeah.
And then what's your next upcoming trip?
Probably LA in like 3 weeks again, and then going to Miami.
Yeah.
His birthday.
Oh yeah. That's after. I thought you were trying to go before.
July
Okay.
22nd is her birthday.
Oh, that's right.
So we're going around then.
Yeah, last July 22nd, we had her birthday here.
Oh,
Now
shit.
she wants to go party in Miami.
Very
Let's
different.
go.
Hotels are
Let's
so
go.
expensive in Miami right now. It's like
Yeah.
$1,200.
Because
a night.
everybody's like going out now, right? Everybody's traveling.
Everybody.
Also, it's Miami, where everybody wants to go if you're anywhere where the weather isn't perfect. So, East Coast wise, makes sense.
For the cheapest room, it was like $1,200 a night.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
It's that crazy.
It's a little
For
expensive.
the hotel we're staying at, but like even the other one we go to is the Edition. That's like $980 a night,
Yeah.
and that usually like in off season it's like $500.
So, what's the most you ever spent on a hotel? Like one night, in one night?
Probably this hotel.
Same
Really?
Here.
The most I spent before
Oh
this
my god.
$500 to $800 maybe.
How about you, Steve?
Same here. This hotel I'm about to stay in, it was like $1,500-$1,600 a night.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Which island?
It's what you call it? It's right under Haiti too. The DR.
Jamaica?
No, actually Saint Lucia.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty cool. They got
Yeah,
some
yeah.
good stuff over there.
yeah.
By
So-
the time we get there, get picked up by helicopter and land. It's crazy.
Yeah, I haven't been in a helicopter in a long time. I think the most I ever paid for a hotel in the past is like $1,500. Just because, like, you know, beyond that, first of all, I've stayed in really nice places, but I wasn't paying for it, so it didn't. I was the one paying, so it didn't count for me.
Yeah, like before the prior I'd say is $1,000 a night in the Bahamas at the
yeah.
Atlantis.
Well, you know, because I told you, like, I've stayed in the presidential suite
We've
in
gotten that one before.
yeah
too.
Atlantis. That's in between the tower stuff, and which is like. I'm sure they comped it for you, or like changed the price or something like that, right? Because
Pinky got it because he
was gambling there. Yeah,
that
exactly.
was 100% comped. He used to spend. He's actually here this weekend.
It's a huge comp too, because that's like $20K a night.
yeah, and they give him.
I
like,
didn't pay for it.
food, drinks, everything included. But when you're
Well, it comes to the
losing
butler
and
and a
winning
couple butlers and everything.
all that money, it's like
Oh yeah, they're winning
they don't
either way.
care.
They don't. No.
the amount, and they can see how much money you've spent over the years. So like, my grandfather, we call him Pinky. I don't know if we talked about him. Probably have. He's been going there for probably. My dad's been going there for 35 years now. So Pinky's probably been going there longer. So
For
they
60 years.
they track that. I don't know how long the Atlantis has been open, but they track your history,
Yeah.
and so we just book that as well. I'm buying so many plane tickets; it's insane.
Hmm.
And Miami, they're actually a little bit cheaper. I found some discounted
Yeah.
for first class, which typically is like $1,200.
Well, first class now is. I mean,
It's crazy.
it's not that different. First of all, to me, I mean, I haven't flown first class. I mean, I haven't flown coach in like 10 years. However, that being said,
And if you got put back in coach, you would be like, "Fuck this."
You would
If
definitely
you're like
feel
this
it.
next
Yeah.
to somebody, you and I are chilling, arms out, eating snacks. They get a pack of almonds.
we
and,
went to LA recently, and Harry and I were in first, and Nick was in coach,
Oh man.
and
even his coach ticket was like $500.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, our first class tickets were only $1,500.
It's like $1,100.
Well, I booked after you.
Yeah, mine was 11. I think Nick's actually was free with. I've used miles or whatever
Oh, nice,
miles to get him.
nice.
So that was free, but it's still like $500.
Well, I mean, I think it makes sense because everyone wants to travel right now, so it's a supply and demand thing. You know, it's every flight we've been on is completely packed, every single one, and it's not like it's just exorbitant because people are still paying for it, right? So I guess it makes sense. But yeah, it is a bit more expensive now that everyone wants to travel. And real estate's crazy right now. I was just talking about how the yesterday with our friends Stacy and Peter about the market right now, the real estate market. It's crazy. Yeah. We might list this house, who knows? But, you know, at that point I don't know what I'd do then. Like move to a smaller $1 million house, like
too
you know,
much work
like
in this though.
well, I don't get
work.
hung up on it though. I like the process. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. If you can, there's a lot of things you can sell right now, like exotic cars and stuff, or houses, and be up in the market. But if you have to replace it, you have to buy something. Shoes, you have to buy something else. It's like that's also inflated. Yep. So it's not like you're winning that much. Like, oh, if I sell this house and let's say severely change the scope of what I'm looking to get, I'm not gonna get that much of a savings or make that much money.
You could win if you sell it and then you rent for a year, but then you have to rent somewhere that's not. Even I've seen it's hard to find apartments now to rent. Mm-hmm. So because everybody's just spending
I would. Money. I just don't see that happening.
You could rent a townhome, but even my townhome, they're probably gonna increase the rent of my place by like 20%.
I think. Yeah. Wow, really? I think if the most likely scenario is if I sold this house, I would buy a cheaper $1 million house, something like that. You know, something that's certainly fine to live in, but not on this scale.
$1 million where I'm at, one that just sold in my neighborhood, it's 2,200 square feet, single family.
Well, I also don't want to live there. No,
I know. I'm just saying, if you think $1 million there, though, I would say $1 million here is probably comparable, because I feel like where I live now is everybody's moving there. Even the place where I got Sophie's engagement ring, they opened a location up there, and they're like, yeah, we moved up here because everybody's moving from the city. Mm. So where I'm at, everyone is moving to, and it's so packed every time we go anywhere. But I mean, last night when we were at Avalon, it was so packed. They had live music. It was a cool vibe, but by the end of it, I was over it because we were eating outside.
Avalon's pretty big and has a lot of stuff going on. There's a ton of people there all the time, though.
Because you can actually hang out. Kids can go and buy. You can't go to the shops in Buckhead if you're 15 and walk around because there's nothing for you to do. You can't go in the stores. You can't go get. I mean, you can maybe buy some gelato, but Avalon, they have Urban Outfitters, stuff like that, where it's cheaper stuff that you can go and kids can go and buy stuff. If that was there,
it sounds terrible.
I don't
want to go there.
I grew up around there. If that was there when I was a kid, we would have spent all day every day.
Where did you go when you were a kid?
North Point Mall. We walked around North Point Mall for hours.
You just hung around malls.
No, just that North Point Mall. We go to the Apple Store,
the mall.
Take photos in there, go walk around the mall, try to pick up chicks, worked maybe a couple of times, and then eat lunch at the food court. That was literally our life.
Where'd you spend most of your time when you were an early teen?
Young, I feel like about the same. They used to drop us off at the mall, either basketball practice or football practice, or just busy. Yeah,
a lot of malls, huh? I never spent any time in a mall when I was
not even
a
to
teen.
The movie. You never.
I mean, occasionally, but
my parents would drop me off.
A mall though?
Yeah.
Nah.
Drop you off for the whole day, especially on
literally
weekends.
the whole day.
I'm sure they would. I just never wanted. No, it was never something that was interesting to me. I hated the concept.
You can eat, you can go look around. If you have a couple extra bucks, you can buy something.
Well, movies. 1, I didn't want to go look around. I want to go do something. 2, I didn't have money to spend. I was trying to make money. And 3, I also just didn't like the mall culture, the mall crowd. This is also the late 90s, early 2000s. It was a little bit different for me.
We didn't have phones like that. We didn't have
exactly. I remember I would have to call my parents from a payphone. To pick me up.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't even be able to they would just drop us off and be like, we're going to be back at 3 o'clock, and then you just go get back to where they dropped you off at 3 o'clock. It sounds insane if you did that now.
Now it sounds crazy.
You dropped your kids
it's
off.
We have no contact in between. It's what?
They don't know what the hell happened. It's that's kind of crazy to think about now. Yeah. I got a phone when I was in 5th grade, so that was when I first started to be able to.
When did you get your first phone? When did you get your first phone?
Wow. I don't know. I think. Wow, not even in high school.
I was in high school.
Yeah, no, I was not.
Because I was one of the few because I could afford it. Plus, my mom worked for AT&T Singular at the time, so it was easier for me. But I remember getting a Nokia, right, that you could play Snake on. It wasn't my first one. I think no, the first one was a Nokia. I don't know. I've had a lot of cell phones. I have a collection of I have a huge fishbowl of old cell phones. I think it's just cool. Like all the ones I've had over the years. Anyway, I think I was 16 or 17, which was really early for most. I mean, most kids did not have one.
I think mid high school for me, probably like 10th grade, 11th.
Yeah.
Now I was 5th grade, which seems really early compared to you guys, but now it's probably.
Now it seems crazy if you didn't have one, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because the only reason my parents got it for me was for baseball practice, so they could, so I could call them when it's over. Because I guess sometimes it'd be over early or go late or whatever. So it was to like call them to pick me up because they were right down the road.
Huh.
But that was the only reason. I had my mom, dad, and sister's phone number in there. That's it. It was kind of like that. Was the Firefly or something that only had it wasn't that, but they had that back then. I remember it was like there's only 3 buttons on it, and it was to call 3 numbers, and it was like home, your mom, and then 911. They can program it for only 3 phone numbers.
Not when I was young.
That's for kids. It was for
I don't
people
remember that one.
5th graders, so they couldn't go on their phone and go on the internet and stuff like that.
Oh my god, I still remember those Nokias, like Tetris and all that.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
No, dude, the early Nokias you could play Snake. You're thinking of later Nokias.
What about the Nextel walkie-talkie phones? My dad had so many of those.
No, I never had
You had
that.
those?
I had it for work, but other than that,
I wasn't like a contractor, so I didn't think I needed it, because it made sense, I think, for that type of use.
I guess I don't. He was.
No, I actually loved flip phones so much. I had all of them. I even had the smallest one they ever made.
The Razor was
yeah.
fire, dude. When I got the Razor, I felt like a king.
I had I think I still have 2 or 3 Razors.
That was sick.
And then the rocker,
sleek, modern.
Do you remember the rocker?
The rocker, yeah.
That was also interesting.
The chocolate one.
Do you remember the N-Gage?
Oh my god.
Did you have an N-Gage?
No, I didn't.
N-Gage,
I still had the Razor.
That was the one that was like sideways and it had a flip down keyboard, but it was like a gaming.
I had an
thing.
N-Gage, yeah.
Yeah, I still have one.
Yeah. It was it played you could put games in it.
Yes.
I had that.
Yeah, you did.
And the side of it was like a keypad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other side was like
such a weird device.
It was a strange device.
Wait, did you guys go? No, of course you guys went to 2-way pagers.
Well,
I was too young for that. I never had
serious?
pager.
I had a pager for a month, and I was like, "This is dumb."
What?
Yeah.
I
could
went
see
through the
Steve
phase.
going like this, checking his pager.
Yeah, no, I definitely had one on
He
my
probably had one until like 5 years after they were obsolete.
Yeah.
I'm done.
No, I didn't like pagers. I liked a phone because I was like, I'd rather send a text, but most people couldn't receive texts at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why the pagers was like.
Yeah, but see, my family, because my mom worked for the cellular companies, it was never really an issue. Like we had a cell phone in 1988, 89, and it was like one of the brick shoulder backpack and like briefcase thing. Like I remember the first one I think was the briefcase. The second one was like a shoulder back. It was so heavy too. I mean, it was maybe this big and this thick, and it was like 20 pounds. It was crazy. I remember trying to lug it, and I couldn't. I mean, not for long. And then we had car phones. Car phones were the thing.
My dad had a car phone.
Yeah. And you could like pick it up, but it only lasted like 20 minutes off the car phone charger thing. Like they had used, for folks who don't know, like most ubiquitous cell phone use didn't start with a handset. Like it started in a car, not outside of it. Like in your car, you had a car phone in the car. So it's powered there, it used the antenna. It wasn't like you just pick it up and ran around. Then it started getting to the point where you could kind of pick it up. And I had those too. The one that flipped down, pull the antenna.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I mean, we had all of those. I'm pissed that we didn't. Dude, I'm pissed that we didn't keep those because right now those are antiques. I mean, it's crazy.
What are you gonna do with them?
I don't know. I think you're right. It's just so. I think it's so cool
Plus
though.
likes clutter.
I don't know. It's not true. I just think they're really cool. It's one of the very few things that I've like kept. Everything else I just throw away.
I had the very first iPhone, which I talked so much trash about it. I remember because I was like, this phone is the full screen on the front. You drop it once, it's destroyed. I said that so long, and I ended up getting one, and then it got stolen.
I think I have about 20 old iPhones.
I have like the 3, but back then I remember you couldn't play games on, or there's no apps. like you couldn't. There's no external apps, so I had to like go. I went
I mean,
online.
really early. Well, you're right. There was mostly Apple apps.
It was just Apple apps.
Yeah.
They didn't. There's no like games, so I would go online.
Well, they did, but you didn't like them. They were really basic games.
maybe-
they had like
well-
chess, and then it was.
But I went online. I would go to like Blackjack or something, and I would save it to my home screen as the link.
Yeah.
So I could just. It would be like a little icon
Yeah.
that I clicked. That would go to play the game.
the
online.
URL will be like an app link. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, I've had every iPhone since its inception. I've had a couple Windows phones, which nobody has now. I've had those, which actually worked really well in the early days. But then Apple like leapfrogged them, and they were dumb. And then I had a bunch of Blackberries too.
Yeah, I had the Blackberries.
But now it's basically Apple or Android. And Android wasn't even a thing back then, right? It was BlackBerry, Windows Phone, iPhone. That was pretty much it. And then also the Palm. You guys remember Palm Pilots? Palm 5?
Yeah,
No.
with
Yeah.
the thing.
Oh my
dad
God.
had the Palm.
Yeah, and the stylus
like
and
blue
everything.
silver.
Yeah, well, the later ones. So I had so in high school and college and starting in high school. I mean, I was
Just see Haas in high school being on his Palm when no kids even had a phone. He's just like,
that's correct, but I
you
wasn't
guys.
doing this. I had the flip out keyboard that even today is cool.
Oh my God.
It was about this like maybe the size of not even the size of my hand. It was a square and probably the size of an iPhone right now. And it would open up in 4 panels like and it was super flat.
I remember that.
And
it's your
you
littlest phone screen. You're going
no,
like
and then
this.
you take the Palm 5 and stick it right in the middle and you type and stuff and people were like would look at me like what the fuck?
And you loved it.
And I was like yeah, I don't
like,
fucking
y'all
write.
ain't even on this level.
It's true. But here was the thing. I took notes like that, and I could Control F and find a word, and immediately know what it was, and go back to my notes. You can't do that with written notes. So, I thought it was not only very efficient, but also I've always hated paper. I hate writing. I hate paper. And little did I know, 10 years later, I started a company founded on that belief that I fucking hated paper. I started a digital media communications company. And it started because I fucking hated paper.
I was still in that era right at the end where like we weren't even allowed to we used laptops at the end of high school, barely. Like they would roll them in the big carts, but like I would assume now the laptops is just widely used because in college I was
would
able
imagine.
to use laptops,
Yeah.
but it was like a sin to use a laptop back then. Like
Late in high school, only a couple of us, maybe 3 of us had laptops because they were also really expensive, super expensive.
just flexing on everybody.
I was, but I also made my own money in high school, so it wasn't like I was like, my parents, can you buy me shit? I was like, I'm buying my own stuff. I was working. I've been working since I was.
Definitely looked like your parents were buying you that shit.
Well,
If you know
maybe.
you're from an outside scope.
if Steve didn't know me,
If you don't know you, this kid in high school has got a fucking phone in his car. He's got a iPhone already. He's got a laptop.
I had a manual BMW too. I had a 3 Series. Then I
did.
yeah. Well, at first I had I said BMW. Then I had a Durango. I had a '99 Dodge Durango. Yeah, that was back in the day. Anyway, I got distracted, but yeah, at the time I remember laptops being very pricey, but they weren't that much better than like a Palm. That was the other thing. Like I had a Palm Pilot, and you really couldn't do much more on the laptop that I couldn't also do on the Palm.
I know.
And being on the internet was very difficult because you had to be plugged in. People don't realize Wi-Fi wasn't really a thing for a long time. It wasn't that popular. So you go to school, there wasn't Wi-Fi. You didn't have a cell phone that could,
It's not even allowed to go in the
exactly.
your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I remember you weren't allowed to bring them to school with you at one point if you had them.
But see, I don't stand against integrating technology into our lives, even in school. There's a lot of schools, especially around here, that are like, we don't allow cell phones and we don't use these computers and, I don't know, till they're a certain age. And I actually don't believe in that. I mean, I feel like I'm not like letting my kids, be on phones and screens all day, but I mean, I'm not preventing them. I'm not saying you can't touch this till you're 5. You know what I mean? I think that's part of growing up in a modern society is kind of getting used to the technology and growing up with technology, right? Because it's the only constant is change that things are going to keep moving up. Like when I was a kid, it was TV's going to rot your brain, right? Yeah, you
Right,
don't look at it. Don't stare at it too long. Get an hour of TV, like that type of thing. And we're well past that, you know.
Yeah, my parents would just steal the remote from my room. If I had a box TV at one point, like I graduated to getting a box TV at one point, and they would take the remote away.
So when my parents were like, you can't have a TV, I was like, fine. And at that point, this was later. I was 12, 13. And I had a few bucks on my own. I went and bought a mini TV. I mean, it was probably like, I don't know, 9 or 10 inches. Like, but it wasn't mini because it was a CRT, right? Cathode ray tube, which you're calling probably a box TV. And it's like this wide, right, in the back, but the screen is this big. And I remember I bought one that had an integrated VHS into it, right? VHS, by the way, for some of you, that's an early form of videotape. Anyway,
crazy that some kids that's really
I know. There's some kids that don't even know.
it's like media. It's instead of a DVD or a Blu-ray, it was a tape. Anyway, so I got one integrated, and guess what was the first movie I watched on that?
I'm thinking of VHS.
It was an older movie though. I still loved it.
I was gonna say Titanic, but
No, I wasn't a girl.
Titanic is a good movie. Dog.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was my first, because I had it already on cassette. I was like, this is the greatest. And then the first Fast and Furious, I remember watching that on it too.
That's 2001.
But that must have been later then, because yeah, it definitely wasn't. But I can only remember like 3 VHS movies that I ever had.
I remember all mine. We had a big
Matrix?
drawer of them.
I remember.
I don't remember.
Rugrats, Titanic.
I have really specific memories of certain movies. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, first Fast and Furious.
My parents used to ground me a lot because I was a boy. I just did dumb shit, and I'd have no TV in my room or anything like that because it'd just be gone. So they would watch TV downstairs, and there's a catwalk. So I would sneak out of my room, and then I would go and just lay at the top of the crosswalk and stare down and watch TV as they're watching it because I wasn't allowed to do anything. I was just sitting in my room, fucking twiddling my fingers. So I was like, let me just watch TV as they are.
Did you?
No, I was not allowed because they always send me out like, yo, go play sport or something. Go play soccer, basketball, football. They kept us busy outside the house. And if we were in the house, like especially on weekends, they had us clean the yard.
Yeah.
So you wanted to be
So you wanted to be out.
You're like, I don't want to be home. I'm about to clean.
I remember when I was younger, high school was a little bit different, but when I was younger, like my parents would yell at us to come in the house because we never were in the house. My brother and I were always outside doing something.
Yeah.
And then it would be dark and be like, come inside. I was like, there's still light. And then I'd start making fires, randomly out of leaves. Yeah.
I did that and set the woods behind our house on fire once.
The whole woods?
Not the whole woods, but we used to go and do like a little camp. There's a huge tree that fell down. We had big woods behind our house. A huge tree fell down, and we'd go hang out around it. We play airsoft at it and whatever. And then we'd get a pile of leaves and just light it and make like a bonfire. And we used the axe with a lighter to make a thing.
Wait, axe like the spray?
Yeah, and you lighter and make a flamethrower.
Oh
like
my
torch.
gosh.
So we went.
Yeah.
There's this like old wagon type of deal, like trailer with like a bunch of wet netting or something in it. So I was like, haha. And I went and the whole thing lit up. So we had a couple water bottles there, and we just sprayed water on it. We were able to get it down, but there's a huge puff cloud of smoke above. We were waiting for the fire department to come because it like was under a bunch of trees and it like came out from the top of the trees. It was bad.
So how did you get it out?
We had water bottles there.
That was enough?
It was enough. I don't know how it was, but literally the water bottles was enough. That was so scary because it was
terrible.
damp. So I was like, oh, this isn't gonna light because it's wet, but it had to have been lit in something, or damp in something other than water.
You ever you ever commit arson, Steve?
No, not even. Not like that. Man, we used to ride dirt bike. That's what I remember. Just getting in trouble for dirt bike on the sidewalk, especially in New York. It's like, yo, NYPD hate dirt bikes. And
in the city,
in the city. I remember I was in California, so I must have been really young, but must have been 6 years old. And our neighbors had dirt bikes, and my parents didn't allow me to play with them, like with the dirt bikes, not the neighbors. And so we went out to like a field not far from our house, and I was at their house, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna go dirt bikes," and I was like, "Yeah." So I went out there with them, and their dad let me use one of their bikes, and I think I just went 100% throttle and just went crazy and went off a thing, and I flew off.
It?
Yeah, well, no, I was riding, and I went off of like a ramp. Like they had made us, and I flipped off the thing. The thing went crazy. I went flying, and I landed. And I was like, that was cool. And he was like, yeah, you're not doing that ever again. I was like, what? They're like, no, you're a wild man. Like, no, this is terrible.
I'll just be doing backflips next time around.
I think that was like the last time I ever got on a dirt bike in my life because I like ATVs. ATVs, I'm a big fan of, but
My parents never let me ride anything like that.
yeah, I mean, my parents didn't let me. I just did.
I never was in the scenario too. I rode on a dirt bike once. My uncle had one, I think.
I mean, they're kind of scary when you're young.
It's fun. I fell off so many times though. I felt like the last one was so bad to the point where I had to get like stitches. But
Oh,
yeah,
My
Yeah, I'm
friend
not a
used to
fan
do
of
this. I never joined in on them, but me and my buddy skated growing up. So like, we're young skaters in the 2000s. We were
Skater
doing
boy.
stupid shit all day.
I couldn't
We were
skate for
skating like
shit.
construction sites of like new houses, and these were like $2 million houses that were like skating the two-stair on the back of it. Like if it was my house, I'd be fucking pissed. Now looking back, but we had the cops called on us, and the cops came multiple times. But they used to do this thing called bush jumping, and they had these scooters that were like electric scooters that could go like 30 miles an hour, and like a bird, but they're gas. And so they would go full speed and then jump into a fucking bush at like 20 miles
basically
an hour.
jackass stuff.
Yes, and so one of my buddies, my good friends Matt, who I met up with the other day, he got a branch and went all the way through his leg, and he had to go to the hospital because it like literally gashed into his
Oh
leg.
no!
Because he bush jumped.
Oh
It was
god!
jackass. That's the thing with jackass growing up, and we were young impressionable kids, so we just like, I was
People started
I was
emulating
a lot
that.
more skittish than they were. They were willing to do whatever.
That doesn't surprise me.
So.
Steve was out there tearing up the streets.
Oh no, that kind of
Popping
remind
wheelies.
me. No, that kind of remind me of I got a call from my little brother because our neighbor is always hanging out with him or whatever, and our neighbor's kids.
When was this?
And that was years ago. We probably was like 11,
Okay.
something like that. And they call us. So he used to have this this small little baton. They used to throw it up in the air and watch it come down and stuff. I don't know. It was weird.
Just throw a stick in there.
Neighbor's son did it too, and it landed in his eyes.
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
no!
We got sued.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy. We took care of the medical bill and all that stuff, but it was crazy that happened because it was like
Oh god!
that, our parents were best friend with them ever since we were like enemies.
Did he go blind?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Wow,
He got lucky.
that sounds terrible, Steve.
I know.
So really, this kid was just throwing up a stick and was just looking at it, and it went in his
Yeah.
eye.
It went in his eyes. Yeah, like who does that? That's
Actually, have Jeff Wittick nowadays.
What's that?
Jeff Wittick from David Dobrik's vlogs, who almost lost his eye.
Oh,
Oh, you did something crazy like that?
David Dobrik did it,
Damn.
caused it to happen.
what did he do?
They went. This is before he got canceled for the Dirty Dom stuff, but they went on this big vlog trip in Utah, and they're gonna just come back. And they had a crane, and people were swinging on it with a rope, and they like had a professional doing it, and then David got in and did it when Jeff, and David's not supposed to operate it. He spins him really fast. He's like 20 feet in the air, and then Jeff was getting scared, so he was like screaming. So David just stopped it, and he swung around and hit straight on the side of the crane in his face, and then he like got knocked out basically and fell, landed straight in the water, and was like hanging by his foot. And his eye, they said if he would have gone like a little bit this way, he would have died. If he went this way, his eye would have completely been cut out. But they were able to save it. He's had like 10 surgeries over the past year, and
Because he hit the crane on his face.
yeah, and just destroyed.
Oh,
Yeah, so he's finally talking about it. But David Dobrik just posted his first vlog back 2 days ago.
I saw that.
It's 6 million views.
I did not watch
bunch
it
of likes.
because I don't care about David Dobrik.
It did really well for like how long he didn't post because of all the stuff that happened.
So he's still canceled or not?
No,
Doesn't
just-
seem like it. It had 6 million views, 600,000 likes, and like 17,000.
How many subs does
dislikes.
David Dobrik have though?
11 million, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was way
Maybe
up there.
more, but
Yeah.
still, that's for coming back after being gone that long, and then the amount of likes it got. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Well,
they're just
No, remember,
ignoring
he
it and
did
moving
stop
on.
vlogging before all those things happened too. So he stopped like for a whole year, way before that too.
Oh yeah. With COVID, he stopped the whole
Yeah.
time.
I do remember you saying that. Well, who's somebody that you, because we were talking about this recently, not David Dobrik necessarily, but you tell me who's somebody you want to work with that, like on YouTube. Who's a creator you want to work with that you haven't talked to before?
I kind of would like to expand it outside of. I want to work with Mr. Beast. That's one. That's an obvious though. Like every creator would.
That's so original.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, I would like to work with people outside of YouTube.
Well, he did do a mystery box video like a month ago.
Yeah, I would like to work with like Justin Bieber or Post Malone. Do some sort of sneaker stuff. That's kind of like
Post Malone's been getting more acting roles lately.
He just did Steve O's podcast, which was good.
Yeah.
But
So you're still watching Jackass stuff.
Steve O's sober now. He just does his podcast.
You've been watching
crazy stuff. Actually, they're coming out with a new Jackass.
No way.
Oh, really?
They've
Like
been
a
filming
movie
it over
or
a movie, a whole movie. They've been filming it for like a year or something, and I think it's supposed to come out soon. They said it's the craziest one yet. Johnny Knoxville, all of them are in it.
Who's a creator that you want to work with, Steve, that you haven't ever worked with, or that you'd love to work with?
I don't know. I haven't been as. I don't know. I feel like I've been like, nah, nobody like that. No.
Nobody.
Get Aiden Ross in there.
Anybody in the world.
No, I mean if somebody wanna work, but other than that, me just looking forward to no, not even.
Huh. Steve don't need you.
Oh,
Don't need anybody.
not like that, but you know,
Whoever you are.
I'm
David Dobrik, you want to vlog with Steve? He says, fuck you. Steve doesn't give a shit.
No, but I feel like the field that I'm in is, unless you playing with them, I will play video games with other people, but it's like,
See, that's where I feel like it would be like more like celebrities to play video games with for
Yeah.
Steve. Like
All right, who's a celebrity then you want to play video games with?
shoot,
Conor McGregor.
I don't even look up to nobody anymore.
But not even like content wise. If you're like Conor McGregor and I go shopping in GTA 5.
Okay, yeah. Who do you think would be the biggest draw to work with?
probably Drake or something like when Drake
Okay.
grew up on Ninja. That was pretty.
Yeah, true.
Cool. Yeah, but yeah, probably that's it.
People like Aiden Ross, I've been watching him a lot. He doesn't even play GTA 5 much anymore. He just did it for like a period.
It was a hype. Yeah.
Rice Gum too.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen you watching those, and I don't really understand why it's entertaining to you.
Because the sus jokes is what's funny.
It's just like I just roll my eyes, like all right, because it's one long running joke though. Like it's the same thing though. It's not different.
His streams are like 4 hours long though, and it has a lot of different stuff. So like he did one yesterday with Seth Rogen, and Mike was in it too. It was for FaZe. It was for it was a charity event. They're trying to raise like 30 grand for Alzheimer's, or a certain charity or something.
Mm-hmm.
They raised like 10 grand, and Mike and Aiden both donated 10 themselves to max it out. So
That sounds nice.
It was a FaZe thing though, and it was hosted by, or it was Mike, Aiden, Seth Rogen, and it was a FaZe Clan thing. But Mike and Aiden are not in FaZe Clan. That's the funny thing. There's like nobody from FaZe there.
Did you recognize Seth Rogen?
Yeah, his beard scruffed out just a little bit. So.
Oh, okay,
see.
okay. Yeah, I think I saw a picture and I was like, that's not Seth Rogen.
Yeah. He's funny. His laugh is still the same from like movies and stuff. Like
Yeah, it's a good laugh.
he just literally laughs like that at everything.
Damn.
It's a pretty good laugh.
He also said he hasn't not smoked in like 25 years or something. Weed.
What?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like 5 years ago we saw him smoking weed in a movie.
That's it. He hasn't stopped smoking.
Oh, hasn't stopped. I was like, what are
He
you
said
talking
the only time that he's like stopped in the past 20-something years is he went into a shoot in this country that basically if you smoked weed you would be like crucified or something crazy. So he didn't. He was there for a movie or something.
Interesting.
Palace? I don't know where it was.
I don't know about the long-term effects of using marijuana.
A lot of laughs, I guess.
I guess. It's not my thing. I'm not against
Yeah,
it
I
for
can
other
just
people.
imagine that.
It is a good laugh.
Speaking of weed, we were in LA. I surfed for the first time. It was pretty sick. Hoss got out there. He didn't get up, but he got out there.
Well, at first I got out there with a boogie board because we didn't have another surfboard. So I was like,
he was following us out there. Like, am I supposed to ride these waves? We're like, how far? 100 feet out?
I mean, they were pretty big waves too.
Yeah, and he was like, should I ride these waves too? And I was like, wait, no, you're supposed to be like by the shore riding them in, like the whitewash.
Oh my God.
And he was like all the way out there.
Andrew, our buddy, he was like, yeah, you're fine, come on. And I was like, okay. And I couldn't even make it all the way out there because the wave would come and just throw me over.
The waves, that sucked. I'd say the worst part about surfing was getting out to a standing area to where you can find the waves, because you're battling it the whole time. And I learned to go sideways into it. So, because when you're just going straight into it, you're just bashed by a wave. It pushes you back 5 feet. Keep going, another way comes, bashes you back 5 feet. And then
That's what was happening to me.
By the time you get out there, you're out of breath.
I was gassed by the time I even got out there. So I was like, I can't.
You went
do
back
this.
out with a surfboard and got out.
I did. But so the only issue at that point was, so I got a surfboard when you or Reed came in, and I grabbed the surfboard. So I went out there on my own. So I didn't have any like instruction or anything.
Oh yeah.
So I was like totally by myself, and I was trying to figure it out. And then I slammed my face into the surfboard, and I was like, you know what? This isn't for me right now. So I came inside, but then Harry and Reed, they got up pretty easily, actually, pretty well.
Got up on the exact same.
Yeah,
the first time we both got up was the same.
And then you guys could get up each time in unison. Unfortunately, we lost the vlog footage.
Dude, I'm so mad about that.
We lost a lot of footage. We actually went to shoot with DJ Ski as well. We lost half of that footage, but we were able to reshoot some of it with him.
It was kind of an L trip. We had 5 shoots planned.
Yeah.
3 canceled. 1 totally messed up. Didn't even get to post the video. And the other one, half it messed up. We, thank God, we noticed it before we left and we were able to go back. If I didn't go and notice that,
we'd have gotten nothing.
We had 0 videos for the whole. Imagine that, 0 videos. We were there for 5 days.
We did a whole shoot with a relatively large company, and they just completely botched it. It was
the outsourced production company who was filming it.
But at the end of the day, who's responsible? Because check that. It's like 101. You check it before you leave, but you check it when you're halfway doing it. You check it right before you're testing it.
No, I know, and somebody was there checking it. Do you remember that? I remember.
I remember
seeing the red light turn on every time he pressed, all right, ready to go, and he's listening. So
yeah,
I'm so confused on what happened.
They were speeding sound. Everything was happening. It's like, I don't know what was happening, but he definitely didn't check it then. Because if he had checked the playback, there wouldn't have been any.
So what happened is we had this whole big shoot, and I guess we filmed this whole thing, this crazy video, and then the audio wasn't recorded on the lav mics that were on our T-shirts. So when we got the audio back, it was off of the camera, which was like in an echoey room. We were using,
but the camera mics were out of phase. Like
the camera mics are shitty.
Yeah, it was not like a regular camera mic. That would have been fine. But
no, it wouldn't have.
No,
because the sounds of like
a shotgun mic would have been fine.
No, shotgun mic, but the camera.
You meant the internal camera.
No, literally, if you didn't have a mic on that, it would be like if you took that off and we were recording this podcast, it would sound so bad.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's what we have.
So it was basically the internal camera mic.
It was internal, and they're using like high-end cameras, so they're not like meant to.
Yeah, and the edit is great. The content's great. I really enjoyed it. He sent me the video when they were like, "Hey, we're not happy with this, but here's where it is." And I was like, this is unwatchable. The audio was so bad, it's unwatchable.
That's crazy.
Like 3 seconds in, I'm like, no. Yeah. And that was a big L, unfortunately. Because I think it was a good video. I would have been entertained to watch it. I had other people who I told that we were doing that, and they're like, I've never seen a sneaker video or anything, but I would watch that.
I feel like it's a hard concept, though, because people don't enjoy so the concept of the video was I get a question wrong, they destroy a sneaker. But I don't think people enjoy seeing destruction.
It was like trivia. But no, first of all, I completely disagree. People love seeing destruction. Second of all, you're talking about like real OG sneakerheads not liking to see a nice shoe getting destroyed. But regular people would love to see that. Something that valuable that gets destroyed because you get a question wrong. Which, by the way, my man didn't get any questions wrong.
I did pretty solid. We won't get too much into it, but I did. I did pretty good.
You did very well. I mean, what we won't get into is the fact that they wanted him to miss some.
Well, that's the whole point of the show, so that's why.
I know.
Because like if we go on there,
I wasn't a fan. I was like, nah.
But if we go on there and don't shred anything, it's like, well, why did we come on here?
They got pissed basically because he was getting all of them right.
I answered one of them right, and they were like, "No way, you got that right." They're like, "All right, I'm gonna give you a hard one." And they're like, everybody in the studio was like, "What?"
He doesn't want me throwing shade because I was not happy with the fact that they were like, all right, you're gonna get these ones wrong, and he was like, okay, and I was like, no,
but it makes sense. I get it. It totally makes sense.
I do get it, but then keep asking more questions, ask harder questions.
Well, I think they were going to, but the shoot started like 2 hours late, and then we had 26 questions. We're gonna only use 10, so it was like the amount of time it was taking between all the cuts. It was like we would have been there till 8 p.m. And one of the other hosts had to leave by like 5.
Yeah.
And so we had to move forward because we had to do all this other promo and stuff. So we were able to get all the other stuff out of it, but the main video, no.
You know, I can say I've been on a lot of professional shoots these days now. Now after this past year, I've been on a lot of them. And in case the FLEXCAST doesn't know, I'm now a partner in a film studio. So I'm doing that stuff every day now. Not posting as much on my channel, but in fact, I just posted a short that we did at that studio. Anyway, the point is that...
Oh, I saw your video of that.
Oh, yeah.
I was surprised you put it on your main channel because...
that's what they said too. They're like, you really want to put it on your channel, like your brand? I was like, I don't care, man.
You just whatever.
I
if
mean,
you didn't see it, it's called
Tough Break.
Tough Break. Right Media. You might not. You didn't see his face in the thumbnail, but it's like an action scene.
It is.
With this crazy gimbal arm thing,
which is really so. It's like a 3-minute short, right? It's a short film.
Was that the video you sent me?
Yeah.
Oh,
that I used Steve's G-Wagon for.
Oh yeah.
I traded my Wraith for the weekend. And we literally shot this
when the wheel got curbed.
Exactly around that time.
Yeah, I was like, "Don't worry about it, Steve." He's like, "No, it's bad. It's bad. I'm sending you money right now."
He went to Hype. He went to one of the sneaker stores.
Yeah,
it was right there too, man. I never curb a wheel. That's why I was like, "Yo, that's a first." But you know what?
He forgot about the
expensive wheel to curb.
the 360 camera to see everything. And
I know.
Anyway,
the video.
That short is basically a lot of high speed, slow mo, that type of stuff, and it's the type of stuff that we actually do for a lot of major productions like Marvel films and stuff like that. A second unit doing a lot of those action shots. In fact, if you've seen Loki, right? Loki just came out, and
I wanna watch it.
In the first episode, like the first 5 minutes, there's a moment where he gets hit with a slow motion thing where everything else is in real time, but he's moving in slow motion. We shot that. Cool. So, and in fact, it was mentioned on Jimmy Kimmel last night. It's pretty cool. So, I mean, we didn't say Right Media, but that's the type of stuff we do. So, in case you're wondering, that's the type of stuff we do, and we use a lot of technology with regard to film. So, I put it on my main channel, that short. That's pretty cool. Check it out if you like it on the Why Not Haas channel. But I've been to a lot of shoots and professional shoots. Like, we're not only working with people at the highest level, but also like we as a production company, we execute at a high level. So, when I was on that shoot, I was like, this is not really.
It was pretty good. I think it was pretty good.
Well,
there was some things that were like.
I was in the background while you. I mean, first of all, he was the talent. Okay, he was talent.
Bring me my M&Ms, the blue ones only, please.
And so he was, in his green room having snacks or on set.
Not really. I was standing outside just enjoying the California.
He was
sun.
being a prima donna.
No, I was being the opposite.
I'm the talent.
You could ask anybody there. I'm literally the opposite.
He was demanding like almonds and blue M&Ms.
Everyone else was eating all the food. I wasn't even eating the food. I was literally outside by myself.
I'm the reason we're here.
Yeah,
that's why he was. That's what he was saying.
They treated me well. They had Escalades pick me up from the hotels and the airport.
So it wasn't. So here's the deal. Here's the issue, is that it wasn't the actual company that treated us well. By the way, it wasn't the actual company. It was the one they outsourced to for the production, and some of those aspects went well. Some of those did not. But I, even as an amateur with this stuff, can recognize when things aren't going well. The first thing, by the way, which is like, hey, not a huge deal, they were completely off when it came to scheduling and timing and everything. Right? They didn't have their shit together. They didn't have shit
There's
prep.
An issue with the
but you plan for issues also. You have a backup for those things. That's just poor producing, by the way. But, it's all right. And then we have an audio issue, right? And now here we are. We spent a whole day and no video.
My goodness. Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to end up using it, but we'll see.
I think they should go back. I mean, said to you that night, I said it should just be ADR. Go back and, redo the voices, the dialogue. Just redo the dialogue. And that's it. It would be fine.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. They can do remotely, too.
Other than that, we shot.
He doesn't want to speak on it.
No, we went to DJ Ski's house.
That was cool. DJ Ski is first of all a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's awesome,
but a massive sneakerhead.
So he's founder of Dash Radio. He's like he was the first person to interview Post Malone, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber. Like he's on it. He's on everything, and he's a huge sneakerhead. Like, so I was connected by my manager to him because they're friends, and he's like, well, we're out here, let's do a sneaker video. So we went to his house. His whole garage is full, hundreds of shoes, and there's only half of his stuff. He has like a shower full of shoes. He had an office,
3 closets full of shoes.
So you have to wait and see the full video because it's. I just put all.
When are
the
you
footage,
posting it?
Next week.
Oh, nice. That'll be a good video.
I just put all the footage in the timeline, not cut up. 2 hours and 30 minutes.
Wow.
We have so much.
We do have a lot.
Because he is
of
such
footage.
a good speaker.
He talks about every shoe. He remembers each shoe when he bought them, the history behind it. I mean, and he's not
cares
just like,
about it.
yeah, he's not just like some hype guy. Like he understands and appreciates.
He has the hype, but we didn't talk much about it because like there's no.
I mean,
point
he's
to
more than just there for the hype. He really appreciates and is a student of the culture, and he's a part of it too, by the way. So,
and I'll give you guys a teaser of some of the shoes he has. He has a signed size 13 Michael Jordan 11 bred by Michael Jordan. 2 shoes signed, which is crazy. He has a rookie Kobe Lakers jersey.
Game worn.
Insane.
That's crazy.
He's got all these jerseys. He's such a huge fan of sports.
I think he's got a Clint Dempsey pair of cleats.
Cleats, yep,
the MLS player.
He was in the World Cup, which is sick.
Awesome.
So much. There's so much we couldn't even get into. He had Red Octobers, all that. Good stuff. But
Air Mags.
Air Mags. That's one that's like, that's a hype one.
It is. It is. But he's got those too. But he's got some really OG stuff that old shoes that have never come out of the box that have started to change color and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
All the foam posits from back in the day. He's got a lot of dunks. He's got 3 of the 4 first ever dunks that came out, which is really cool. He needs to get the 4th one. I should have tried to find him for him.
Yeah. I shot B-roll for it.
It's all right.
Was it terrible?
I haven't looked through all of it.
Could you use any of my B-roll?
I can use some of it. I went back and reshot some of the stuff that you did. Also, is our second camera.
Yeah.
For the shoot.
Although, it was I was shooting second camera.
Yeah, like he was behind Nick doing B-roll and stuff because we wanted to maximize what we were doing. But like you said, we switched SD cards halfway through the shoot because we used so much footage, and the second card corrupted, and that had our surfing footage, which I'm so mad about.
But it only corrupted because the next day we shot the surfing footage
and it was fine.
We were watching it on the camera, so it wasn't the switch of the card.
No,
actually, thank goodness we switched it because then we wouldn't have anything.
No,
from the first half.
No, we would have had we'd had everything on that first card.
That's what I'm saying.
The second card is what corrupted.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Thank goodness we switched it because
I get. Yeah.
We would have lost everything on one card. But
so dumb.
Anyway,
that's only happened to me 2 times.
So what corrupted it? Was it? I mean, because everything was fine that day. The next day we shot more footage. We could play it back on the camera. That was fine. You were watching it, and then when we got back to the hotel, could you not play it back, or was when you plugged
it
in?
In the
reader.
The reader, and nothing showed up on the camera. So I took it out. I put it back in the camera, and it said image processing error or something, and it said click to try to recover, to repair. And I clicked that, and as soon as I did that, because I tried everything else, and I couldn't get anything, so I had to click that, because that doesn't mean format it. It's not going to format anything. It's just going to try to recover whatever one file. Usually it's one file. I've had that happen before, and it's fine. I clicked that, all video is gone. So it made no sense that how that removed all the video. And it still, on the SD card, had the thumbnails of each video clip. So it had the photo of the first second or first frame of it, of all of them, but no video. And we had 6 SD cards that all were fine except that one. And that had the most, that was the one card that we, I feel like we could have gotten rid of any other cards.
We would have been better
besides
off,
the main DJ Ski.
But now, I mean, this only happened to you once ever in your life.
In LA.
And you film every day. It was actually in LA at the same time.
3 years ago.
But see now, and my cameras, I actually set it to dual record on 2 cards, right? And in fact, I think last week, Nick was making fun of me for it or something like that. He was like, oh, it's set. I have to change the setting because I lent him my body. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, it's doing this. And I was like, yeah, whatever. But now that's exactly why. Although it's never happened to me, but that's exactly why I double it when you're recording to an SD card. 2 SD cards are recording at the same time for my stuff, but now you might be doing that.
We were gonna make a really sick like vlog of the trip, which we're not doing now because we lost a lot of footage, and one of the collaborations didn't end up happening. We went to Carter Scherer's house.
Yeah,
and
that was cool. You know, Carter Scherer.
Did you see that story?
Was he 9 or 10 million subs on YouTube?
9 million. Yeah, he has 11 trampolines stacked high.
Oh,
did you see that?
Yeah,
we posted a story of them jumping out. It's like 4 stories tall, jumping off of trampolines into a pool, and it's also Frank Sinatra's old house, so it's a crazy house. But I mean, they had trampolines everywhere in the yard. Jumping.
I was doing flips on a 3 stacked up, and that was sketchy because I didn't want to fall off the side.
Yeah,
so like,
I remember I saw you. I was like, "Yo, Harry, take it easy."
No, I know because we weren't like drinking or anything, so that's good. So we're like drunk and.
I mean, I was, but.
We
had nothing to do with it.
We played basketball. We had like a 5-on-5 game, and we were so wiped out after.
We played a lot of basketball.
I was playing an off-white.
And then we surfed in the morning. Like I was beat up after that. We did a lot of activity in like a 12-hour span. Good. But yeah, at Carter's house, it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of cool people there. We met a bunch of people.
I actually teamed up with the card guys. They have one on the way.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
They got me a custom logo, my Neville Racing on the corner. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So I mean, we met some cool people. I mean, we'll be back soon, so we'll hang out again.
Man, that's to the wifes. We were going
but we didn't tell everybody. Harry and I did a track weekend. Steve doesn't do track stuff, but
his car's too powerful for that. He drove the GTR today.
He's like, it's not a straight line. No. Oh yeah, he did. Look at that.
That's the first time
in a year.
I've been enjoying that car lately, man.
But we did a track weekend. Harry and I took our car, the Ferrari and the Porsche. We took that to the track, and we had a 3-day weekend. It was awesome for Harry's birthday, basically. So we had
and then we came back, had 1 day home, then we left on Wednesday. We got back Monday, home Tuesday. I had to film a video. Wednesday we left for LA.
Yeah, so we were gone for like 10 days,
and then now we have to go back in 3
Our
weeks.
families weren't too happy about that.
I mean, you're married. Your wives aren't gonna like when you're gone for 10 days.
I mean, it's a valid concern, by them.
But it was work. So they had to.
Yeah.
We had.
But what makes it tough is that we have fun, right? Like when we work, it makes it tough for anybody because it's like, I honestly think they'd feel a little bit better if we were like, doing like grinding. Yeah, it's so hard. Like we're really toughing it out.
Straight up.
But I mean, I had that because I sat there and complained about how the video didn't work.
It's true.
So I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
But she's more mad. She's like, I'd rather you go out there and get maximize it rather than not be able to.
It's a waste now. Yeah, but it wasn't a waste. It was helpful. We did some
networking.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I for me it was pure fun. But
Plus had no true reason to be out there. Besides
thanks, Harry. He had no reason to be here.
But like, there was no like work stuff.
Yeah, no, there was. That's true.
Plus went to Saddle Ranch and
I did. Yeah. It was we went up with Isaiah. If you guys don't remember, Isaiah is the guy who traded us the Tesla, or we traded the Tesla to him for $20,000 credit in shoes, which I took a massive L on. If you haven't seen the video, it's on Harrison's channel. Trading a Tesla for $20,000 in shoes. But Isaiah, who drove that Tesla back to LA from Atlanta, I met up with him a couple times back. When I did the Eric video, I met up with him. And then we met up with him again. So we went to Saddle Ranch together, Isaiah, his wife, and I.
The Hype Beast.
It was. I mean, it was interesting. So I was talking to the waiter, and I was like, I was in the mood for barbecue. And he was like, yeah, don't do the barbecue. I was like, really? So I talked to him for a while, and he's been there for like 10 years apparently. And I said, well, what would you order? And he was like, for real? And I was like, yeah, like surprise me. Just bring me whatever you would get. And he brought me like 3 secret menu things. He's like, these aren't on the menu. People don't know we have them. And it was fantastic. It was really good. And I think overall it was fine. But for the hype of like a Saddle Ranch, I mean, it was
right across from a hotel too. We stayed in West Hollywood.
Yeah, we stayed off Sunset, but it was like a Texas Roadhouse with a lot of people in it.
And that's not normal in California.
No,
they're not used to like a Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yeah, true.
They're used to bougie stuff.
But that's basically what it was like. And I did not see David Dobrik or anybody there.
No, you didn't.
So, but Katana was great.
Went there twice.
Another restaurant that we like he likes so much. We went twice. Sushi primarily, but a lot of other fusion stuff.
Like
pretty
Wagyu fried rice,
which was excellent.
Sushi.
Yep. So yeah, we went to a few other places, but it was a good time. We hung out with Reed of Night Media. We watched the fight together. So we watched the TikToker YouTuber fight. Well, I mean, we've talked about it a lot. Obviously, we've also seen a lot of stuff. But did you even watch it?
No. I probably watched the end of it.
Okay.
But I watched it after.
Did you watch the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight?
Which we
Yes,
yeah.
I did. Yes, I did.
So we've been off air for a while, right? Forgot about these things.
Yeah.
But at the track weekend, we got a hotel, went into town just to watch that fight, and went to a place for it.
Weird environment.
Yeah, it was a weird environment, but we've been watching all these fights now. So what did you think about the Logan Paul Mayweather fight?
They was just there to make their money.
Yeah,
Straight up.
true.
Straight up.
It went how we all knew it
Were
would.
you not? Were you impressed with Logan Paul being able to hang in there with him for all 8 rounds?
I mean, he knocked out Logan Paul, really, in my eyes.
No, you think he held him up?
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
so.
Steve.
I
That's
don't
some
think
bullshit.
so.
Hell no.
I don't think
Hell
so.
no, dude. No.
I feel like he's like, yo, let's get this money,
No.
man. He's just holding
He'd still get the money if he knocked him out. There's
it
no
would be
difference in money.
Way better for Mayweather if he knocked out Logan Paul.
Absolutely.
He would.
Yeah.
It would have been way more viral if he.
Nah,
but
it
I
would
think
be better
he
for
was
both
holding
of them.
back.
Yeah.
I think he was holding back. I feel like he was holding back.
I think he's just older, and I think he didn't want to get caught, so he
Yeah.
became more reserved.
And I think they both did actually quite well. I think people were impressed with Mayweather, as old as he
Logan
is.
Paul was just throwing hands.
I was
like
impressed with
nothing.
Logan Paul, given how little experience he actually has, but how prepped he was. I mean, his cardio. I mean, just to be in there for that long was impressive to me. He didn't look like a complete moron. Like he's had one fight where he lost. Like he was
fights, and he
two fight, right? Sure.
Draw and a loss.
I mean, it was
but
impressive to me.
The other fight that I actually enjoy, it's crazy because that guy, I know he was doing it for entertainment, Bryce Hall,
Yeah,
but
and Austin McBroom.
yeah, I think he kind of deserved it.
He got put in his place.
I mean, obviously, Austin McBroom was a better boxer. Clearly,
Have you seen
Yeah,
the clip going around of Bryce Hall after the fight? He's like, "I'm not a boxer. I never claimed to be a fighter." And then it cuts to him saying, "I'm a fighter, and that's why I'm going to
That
beat
thing's
him."
fire.
It's like, okay.
I mean, I think to a certain extent they were just trying to hype it up, but
No, but he did a good job because the hype part, like he was playing the villain in a way. He admitted too.
yeah,
But
yeah. Well,
His
it
garbage
also
crushed.
I saw
I
that.
know.
That was good. He looked like a monster.
Austin.
Just Myko.
And then Gibb got robbed, and they overturned it.
That was they did. I didn't realize
they came
that.
out,
Yeah.
like the next day, they came out
Yeah,
the
because
league
that was
came out and said-
absolute bullshit. That he
Yeah.
hit
The fact that
that was dumb.
Taylor Holder says he's like, no, I think I
think I
should've
would.
won.
Yeah,
Like,
okay, whatever.
Dude, you
Cat.
got crushed.
Absolutely got crushed.
Gibb fought and now they're trying to figure out like who's Gibb gonna fight next, because Gibb thinks he's in the talks with Jake and KSI now. He's the top 3. And then KSI.
I would bet on Jake. Absolutely.
Jake is
against
better
Gibb.
than KSI right now, and that's the issue. Is KSI is doing music. I think KSI, if they got in a ring tomorrow, he would absolutely lose. So KSI, his team thinks that he
agree.
needs to like
Train
I don't know
up.
if he wants to, but
Yeah.
to do multiple fights in between before he goes back to Jake, because Jake's been training for 3 years he's not stopped since his first fight. Deji lost. He was
Did he
really
really cut
sad.
his beard? Because I saw something on
Yeah, he
Twitter.
looks weird. He cut his
Oh
beard
my
off.
Goodness.
He looked weird in general.
He's
He looked like if I went out there to fight somebody right now.
the way that people who
That's like no training whatsoever.
Deji?
Deji, yeah.
Deji had training his cardio. He can box. He can throw hands, but
Yeah, but he looked terrible out there.
Not his boxing, but his cardio.
Oh,
looked
I think
terrible.
both. I think
I
both.
don't think his boxing looked that bad.
Well, if it wasn't that bad, he would have fucking lost so terribly.
Was he like the only YouTuber that lost to?
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah. Well, it also sucks that Tanner didn't even get to fight.
Tanner
Oh
Fox.
yeah, the weight.
He was going. He hasn't said anything. He said he's gonna
He
have a
re-
video
he-
coming out.
no, he released the video yesterday.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Did you watch it? I'm curious what he says.
I was busy, but I saw it and I was like, oh, I want to watch that. But basically, Tanner was like, what's his name? Riles Chat something. What's his name?
Ryan.
No, I don't know. I forget his opponent's name. Justin Riles or Riles. I don't know. Something
He was
like
17 pounds lighter heavier than Tanner Fox. His opponent
Right.
was.
that. And Taylor had like put weights in his pocket just just to make it. Apparently, that's what they say that you do.
He said, he's like, you guys don't know all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
He did mention it. Like, I'm severely underweight. It's like, okay, well, that's your choice. But Tanner was saying this is bullshit. Like, I want to fight. And the other guy was like, oh, he's just pussing out.
No, but at first, Tanner, he came out and said he might not want to fight because of the weight difference. And then once they started to say that they couldn't do it, then he realized, like, oh, I do want to fight. And then he was pushing for it. But at first he said, this is bullshit. I can't, like, how am I supposed to fight somebody 20 pounds heavier than me? So he did at first push back on it. And then he wanted to actually fight. And then once he wanted to actually fight, they're like, no, you guys can't
because
fight.
it was an issue that he was made aware of. He's like, what the fuck? But then he was like, no, but I still want to choose the fight. And the commission didn't let him. And then the other guy was like, oh, he's just pussing out. So there's a video on it now, apparently. Ryland, that's it. Yeah, Ryland Skies or something like that. I don't know.
I was about to say, Harry, if somebody decided to invite you to fight, would you?
I already got one. The next biggest sneaker YouTuber hit me up.
Oh, my
Legendary?
goodness.
No. Who? Tony?
I'm not saying it.
Why not?
Because
there's like 5.
If it happens.
Kais, Tony.
Because the car guys are doing it now, too. I think DDE's about to.
DD, they said that, but DD actually boxed prior. He
said
he wanted
Damon
to box
did.
vehicle versions.
You mean Damon did.
Back in the day. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but somebody hit me up like, do you want to do it? And I was like,
who?
I'm not saying it.
Why not?
That would
because
be
I don't know
cool.
if they want to say it. But they're a heavier weight class than me for sure. We're about.
You're definitely not Blazing.
I'd have to go up. I'd have to go up 20, and he'd have to come down 20, basically.
It's got to be Kais then.
I'm not saying, but basically, he's like, dog, we can make millions if we do this. And I'm like, I asked Sophie, and I was like, she doesn't want me doing that, and I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I'm a boxer. I'm just.
I absolutely would.
The hype around boxing is crazy right now.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's a good thing, by the way.
It is. It's awesome. Like, I'm so excited to look. I'm looking forward to every fight.
Yeah. Well, when we watched these 2 big hyped fights,
and then we watch UFC after.
They watched the UFC fight after.
As much as Dana White hates Jake Paul is making everybody so interested in all this stuff.
It's true. And Jake Paul's even calling that out and saying, you got 1 million followers, because of me.
And he's also saying, like, you need to pay your fighters. That's Jake's, like, he says his biggest movement.
He's also not wrong about that.
No. But then you have, like, the Nelk side who are with UFC going all that stuff.
Which, by the way, so we were hanging out with Reed, who runs Night Media, and we watched the fight together. And then while we were doing that, Harry got to taste the Happy Dad, the new Nelk Boy seltzer.
Mm-hmm.
And
Reed put out the video.
Yeah, Reed put out the video on his channel, Creator Economics. Check it out. If you're interested in being a creator, it's a great channel. And then also, Harry and Reed did a tasting. Actually, I was sitting right next to him. I'm not in the video, but I was sitting right next to him.
I was wishing he was in the video.
I was like, no, I was wanting to drink. They were just, I don't know.
We were giving an analytical view of it.
Yeah, so as soon as it stopped, I was like, all right, give me one of those. I was just getting really thirsty.
So if I give my review, Wild Cherry is by far the best, stands out on his own.
Which, in my opinion, is not true. I think watermelon is the best.
Dude, watermelon tastes like water. Like, literally water. There's no flavor in it.
So I can taste things, okay?
Then how
Harrison
can you not
cannot, apparently. Like, look, I mean, I'm even drinking a wild berry Truly right now.
Wild Cherry is a different drink than the others. I feel like Wild Cherry is...
So what I will say is Wild Cherry definitely has the strongest flavor.
And I
which was too much for me because it tasted like this.
Well, I kind of wish that that strong flavor profile was throughout each drink and not like this one is, whoa, this is like super strong.
I liked the subtlety of the watermelon because it was in plenty taste for me.
But would you rather them all have the same subtlety is what I'm saying? Or the same strength?
No, I think I liked how they did it.
Okay.
I think I like how it made sense to me. Because for example, someone like you can like wild berry, where someone like me can like watermelon, right? And so it kind of hits on people's tastes. I thought lemon lime was crap. I think Reed liked it a lot.
Lemon lime wasn't bad.
Pineapple. Was it?
We didn't like pineapple that much.
I thought pineapple was better than lemon lime.
I've heard a lot of people like on Nuxer say pineapple's the best. It's weird.
I think pineapple was number 2 for me. Watermelon was number 1 for me. Pineapple's number 2. It's like the opposite of yours.
I don't drink seltzers though.
I occasionally do.
It's 8 a.m. and you're drinking a seltzer now, so yeah. I was like, do you want a drink? And I'm like, I'm good with water. It's 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, man.
Would you like one, Steve?
No. I'm good.
So yeah, I think the fights though have been interesting, and they certainly got me more interested than I have been ever in the past of boxing. Sure, I watched the big fights. I watched Mayweather and basically whomever for the past 10 fights.
Usman,
Yeah.
that fight was good.
But yeah, even the UFC stuff was pretty cool.
Having that after is cool. When it was like the YouTuber boxing, and then immediately
it was a whole night
after
of
the UFC
fights.
Fight.
Yeah,
And
we watched like 6 hours of fights though.
we were also on the West Coast, so it was a lot easier to watch.
It wasn't
because
4 a.m.
It started at 4 p.m.
Yeah.
and the UFC fight came on at like 8 o'clock, and it's like, this is amazing because
Yeah.
here it comes on at midnight,
midnight.
and you're like,
I know.
dude, I got to stay up until 2 a.m. to watch these
exactly.
fights. There, you don't feel bad.
And we were at a friend of Reed's place, JT, who's he's a creator as well, a former hockey player. He and his wife, really nice house, and we met some more people there. But it was cool to watch that YouTuber fight and then go to another place, and then watch the UFC fight as well with some other people. So I mean, I think it's a good environment. It's a fun time just to hang out with people and
There's
watch
a lot more
fights.
people you meet in the industry, obviously, out there.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I would move out there.
Well, you don't have to at this point.
No, there's no point. A lot of people are moving from LA when they've established themselves there.
Yeah,
So
that's true. All right, well, thanks for coming by, guys. Glad we could make it work. At least get a FlexCast out. You know, we miss doing FlexCasts. I do.
Oh, man.
I don't know about these guys, but
we do some more at the warehouse.
yeah, that was fun. We'll do a warehouse one soon. But anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. All these things. For Harry, Steve, and Haas, we're out.
Peace.